A very good afternoon, everyone. Today we have with us a very special guest, Miss Akansha from Rosemount School. Before we get into our session, let me introduce her to you. Miss Akansha was born and brought up in Lucknow, Uttar Pradesh. She pursued her BBA and MBA from AMITY University Lucknow. She started working for a firm called Keysoft as a counselor. In 2010, she joined EMC Bangalore and worked there till the year 2013. After the birth of her son, she took a break, and by the time her son was about a year old, she started to miss her work and wanted to get back. She was inclined to start a business of her own and thus started her entrepreneurial journey. The journey of her first preschool began in the year December 2013, and thus she started the process to learn about the basic behavior of children and empowering other women to pursue their dream of having a successful career. She never gave up on her dream, believed in her hard work and sincerity. Running a preschool was never easy. It was full of challenges and learning experiences. The greatest challenge was to take a call to continue the school during the pandemic, and Rosemount International Preschool, Kundallahalli Center has grown into one of the best centers in that locality. And as a flagship center of Rosemount Group of Schools, they were recently awarded with the Best Infrastructure and Shining Preschool Award in the year 2021 and 22. It's indeed a pleasure to have you with us, Miss Akansha. A very warm welcome to you.
Thank you, Archana ma'am.
So let's begin now though of course in your profile you have mentioned when you started school, but what was the thought behind starting the school?
Well, like most of the mothers, I was really, I just didn't want to leave my son since he was my first child, and I really wanted, to spend more and more time with him. But I wanted to work as well. So we went searching for some creches and daycare, and somewhere or the other, they didn't fall into my parameters. So then I started, then the got stuck. We were just having a discussion with a few friends of ours, and then I was like, why not open our own school? So when we said school, so we got a little hesitant because again, there are so many things involved when you're opening a school. Then it's like, yes, we can start with a preschool wherein I will be able to take care of my son as well as take care of other people's kids whose mom are willing to go to work, but they don't have that kind of support at home. So that was the basic idea that, at least I will be able to help myself as well as some, empower some other mothers, who want to leave their children and go back to work, but they are not very confident where to leave. So that is how my journey started. And in December 2013, I took a call that, yes, we will start with a school. And it was a call taken on a very short period of time. We just had a discussion with my husband and a few of my friends for about a week or so. And then that's how the journey started. Yes, we'll do this now. Now we are into it. And having said that, my child really supported me. So he was there, and, one of the main reason to drive me was my child, my son, basically, how the journey started.
That's awesome. That's amazing to hear. And I'm sure that you have been able to inspire many women around how to balance your career and home.
Definitely. I'll tell you one incident that happened when we had opened the school. So there was this parent. She was my first student. I'm still in touch with her. And the mother wanted to get back to work, and they put her into the daycare. And most of the time she would cry because obviously the child has been with her mother for so long, and she always used to say, "Mujhe, she'll come to the office and she'll never not go to the play area. She'll not go anywhere. She'll come and sit on my lap, and she will every 5 seconds, literally, what she used to say, Mummy ke paas jana hai, Mummy ke paas jana hai. Haan, we'll go to Mama. Haan, we'll go." And she stayed with me for 6-7 years, 6 years to be precise, till she was big enough to handle things at home. She used to stay with us, and that was the kind of relationship we built. And the mother and the father, they always used to say, if you wouldn't have been there, I would have not gone back to work definitely. So that is something that you work for. And, when you see
Absolutely.
that, fellow women, being able to work just because we have given them a little support for few hours, they are
Yes.
getting back to work.
Yes, yes, yes. And I'm sure it's been, it would have been very encouraging for such parents as well, because that's the confidence that you probably instilled in those parents. So that's amazing. So, Akansha, with so many schools, especially in a city like Bangalore, you see that each year there are a lot of schools which are coming up, not just the big schools. Of course, preschools, all the more. In every second or third lane, you have one preschool. So with so many preschools all around, how does your school stand to make a difference amongst so many preschools?
So with Rosemount, one plus point that we have is that we believe in, not, amalgamating everything, be it the AR or the VR, the virtual reality and everything, so that it makes things very interesting for the child. These days, the children want everything visually, they will not be on an audio, this thing, okay, the teacher is saying, I am listening and we are learning. It doesn't happen like that. So now we have to innovate. In a preschool industry, especially, I feel with whatever little 10 years of experience that I have, I feel that you need to keep innovating and need to come up with more and more interesting things. Like we follow the VR, we have something called as a surface board, which is a touch screen. And whatever we are teaching them, it will have activities relating to them, stories relating to them. It will have a lot of rhymes related to them. So it makes easier for the child to understand. And the session is very interactive. We use a lot of 3D, 4D augmented flashcards. Again, when you see something pop up all of a sudden in front of you, especially the children, oh, wow, what is this? So the children get animated and you have the full focus. At this age, when the child is just say 2 years, 3 years, their attention level, even if we get for 20 seconds, it's a big thing for us.
Yes.
We have achieved what we are sitting here to achieve. So that is how we have always, taken a step ahead, wherein we have tried to get in technology, but again, not too much exposure of technology again. So if I say I'm getting the children to sit in front of the, a surface board, so parents do come to us and say like, they are in front of the screen again. But then that is just for every class, it is just for 20 minutes. So if it is just for 20 minutes, it's not too much. It's just right, wherein they can use the surface board, learn from them, and get the benefit out of it, rather than just meaninglessly listening to the rhymes and everything which happened so much during the pandemic. The other most important thing that we do is a lot of group activities, and the group activities will not only be with the smaller child or the bigger child separately. It is a group of the complete school. So if we have, say, suppose 50 kids in the class, in the whole school, we will divide, the whole school would be together the first half of the time. So we have around the first half from 9:30 to 10:40. Usually we'll have an assembly time wherein the complete school is together. So we start with the assembly. We'll have all the shlokas and all. And I'm very proud to say my playgroup, who are just 2 years, 2.5 years, they will say out all the shlokas, which you will say, and very clearly, mind you. So that is something that we are very proud of, and they'll be able to achieve that because they are doing it on a very often level, and they're seeing the elder kids do that. Because children copy whatever is being done in front of them. So if the bigger children are doing it, they also start doing it. And after that, we'll also have something, we focus a lot on, exposing the kids to the natural environment as much as possible. Yeah. So what happens in that is when they are playing around, like kids here will not play a tag or will not play a Vishamrit. If you tell them some games on the phone, they'll know, but don't know all these games. So these games, we make sure that they're at least playing one game in the morning every day. So that is something that makes us stand out from the other centers which are here, which will not have an assembly because it becomes chaotic for the kids. we have to teach kids some discipline. So once we tell them initially, yes, for a couple of weeks it is difficult, but once the child understands, they have to stand, they are quiet and they enjoy the session. If we don't do that session, the children ask us to do it. Yeah? So we will do such sessions because it makes the whole environment very nice and jovial, and they enjoy it.
Yes. So, today, gone are the times when parents used to just put their child in whichever school was closest to the home, and without really bothering to understand whether the school was an ICSE or IB or IGCSE or CBSE board. But today that's become a big question mark in the minds of parents. So do you think as an educator that do the boards really play part in a child's success?
Well, frankly speaking, I don't believe in that. What we are building is, we are building the base of the child. Okay. True. Board is just a medium, okay, of providing an opportunity to the children. But what they are learning, what knowledge they are gaining is most important. That's what I feel. And that's what we try to do in school as well. We give them more opportunities. We give them more, like we'll have a lot of celebrations. We'll have a lot of competitions, like coloring competitions would be there. Fancy dress competition, which the parents love, the kids love. We also love it because it's a good, you see so much of creativity coming out of the parents as well. And you need to give them a platform wherein they can perform. So that is what is most important. Board is okay. It is there to give you a system. It is there to lay down rules. But knowledge is the most important thing that you have to retain at the end of the day. That's what I feel.
Correct. Another thing that many a time, you would have also come across such parents when suppose their own child is say about 3 years old, and they see another child who's of the same age group, and they feel that the other child of the same age knows far more than their own child. And so is there any particular way that a child learns, or do you think as an educator, is there any best way, or can parents really help their children in terms of learning?
What I think is, with the children, each child, if we have 50 kids in school, each and every one would be different. When each and every one is different, we can't have the same methodology of teaching for everyone. Somebody would be good in listening, they will catch hold of it. Somebody would be very nice visually. So if they see it visually, that will stick into their brains. So we need to identify that and, work on that. So we follow a step called 7 R's, wherein, in the whatever information or whatever teaching, that whatever thing we are teaching to the child is done in 7 different ways, wherein we make sure that it is instilled in their mind. So we start with the normal, telling them, they are doing it. And then till the time it comes into the reflex, and the example usually example that I give to the parents is, if I ask you, A for, what is the first letter word that comes to your mind?
Apple.
Apple. An astronaut will never come in your mind. Yeah? So that is the difference. So that's how we teach the children. It is not just in one particular way. It is in 7 different ways that we'll be teaching them. So that it's for one child, it would be, the first way would be probably, if I just write an A on the board, that is more than enough. Some child, it will not be enough. Some child, you have to give an experience of learning. Yeah. So what we do is usually, suppose, especially for letter A or say letter B, we are teaching them, for B stands for bat and ball. So what do? We make an environment, or we'll get a bat, we'll get a ball, and we'll ask the kids to play cricket in the school, but in the classroom, that is. So, but what happens in that is, the child will not go home and tell mama that, mama, I learned letter B. When mama is asking, what did you do in school, 90% of the children would say, I don't know what I did in school. So that is the first thing that they will tell. But if you play with bat and ball, they will go, mama, I played bat and ball in the class, and so throw the ball and I hit it for a 6. So that is what it's all about, an experience that you're providing to a child, so that he learns, and it is not being forced on him also, and he's retaining whatever we are telling them as.
Yeah. That sounds pretty interesting. And like you said, I think it's more like learning by doing. That is what they retain. And, do you think that, of course, there are some set of parents, I won't say all of them, but some parents who really focus on academics and maybe the kind of, percentage that children get and score. So they really focus on academics. For such parents, what would you like to share with them in terms of that? Is academics alone important for a child's success?
No, it should always be an overall development. Maybe a child is not good in academics, but he'll be very good in music, or he'll be very good in sports. He'll be very good in orating something. So we need to, as teachers, we need to identify what the child is really good in and tell the parents, like, you need to focus on this so that the child also improves on it. And academics, we are working on it. So we will always keep working on the academics part, but then whatever the special gift that he has within him, we need to nurture that also.
Correct.
So that's one of the most important things that we tell. Don't compare your child to the other children. Your child is as special as the other one. So
Absolutely.
What we need to do is we need to give them an environment. We need to give them resources, basically, wherein they learn and they build on their they build on their active interest and all those things.
Yes.
So some kids are very good in storytelling. Some kids do not open their mouth. So you can't compare in terms of that. And academics does not hold a very, very, very important. It is important. Definitely it is important, but it is not the only thing. If the child is not getting good marks, that doesn't mean the child is of no good. Absolutely not.
Correct.
But we need to identify it as parents and as teachers that, okay, maybe we might need to change the approach of teaching also. So maybe we are teaching the child in the wrong way, that he is not able to understand. Some people, like when some people are like, they will read once and it will be written. Some people, they will listen what is being read and it will be written. So we need to identify that, and then accordingly we need to teach the child. If we see that the child is not, reciprocating the same way, we need to put in a little more effort on that as well.
Yes, very true. Also, in today's times, parents are very keen that child becomes an all-rounder. So usually after this child comes back from school or finishes the homework, the child ends up going to a music class, dance class, art class, or some other class that the parents really want. They are quite ambitious about their children. So they are basically looking at building overall personality of a child. So do you think that there are any skills that as a parent, they can help their child inculcate or imbibe those, in kind of helping the child develop an overall personality?
Look, at the age, I'll say till the age of 10, the children are very, they're like clay, they're wet clay. We can mold them as we want with, the knowledge of what is actually interesting them. So as you said, like some kids are going for badminton also, some kids are going for football also, some are going for cricket also, they're going for drawing class also, they're going for probably some sketching classes, music classes and all. Sure. But at the end of the day, we need to give them an exposure so that they know what all these things are. But at the end, we need to see what exactly the child is inclined more towards, and then nourish it and make them do well in that. That is what that's how I have followed as a mother also. Like I also have done this, wherein my son used to he said, I want to go for badminton, then he said I want to go for cricket, and then he said I want to go for football. Now he's settled as a footballer. So at least he tried his things, and then he knows that okay, badminton is not much interesting to me, probably cricket would be. Cricket also, looking is very good, but then playing becomes too hard. Then he's like, okay, I will play football, and he's doing well in football. So that's how we need to give them exposure, so that they come to know what their real skills are, and then they themselves will find it interesting. Once a child is around say 10, 11 years, they start finding focus of things wherein they want to concentrate more on.
True. And I think, like you said, it's basically helping them explore different areas, different activities, till they know that what is it that they actually enjoy doing.
Yes.
So coming to the activities now, how important do you think are activities when it comes to being part of curriculum, and what kind of emphasis does your school lay on these activities?
I would say my 60% of focus is on the activities, because that helps us to make the class very interesting, and the child always wants to come and do those things. We need to give child a sense of self-esteem, that his self-esteem is building. We follow a philosophy of Maslow's hierarchy theory of needs. Okay. So wherein, the last step is self-actualization, wherein your self-esteem needs to be high. Yeah. And how will the self-esteem get to that level is when they're doing things on their own, when they are making things on their own, even if they are sticking two sticks together, that also for a playgroup child will his self-esteem would be on the top, and he will say, Mama, I made a plus today. He has just made a plus for us, but since he has done it on his own, it is very high. So that's what we build on when we say about, talking about being creative in school. We have a lot of festivals and celebrations wherein we are doing reinforcement of whatever we are teaching them in school also. So we'll be having color specific days, we'll be having theme specific days. We celebrate each and every festival that you can think of in India. So we don't and especially August is like the celebratory month of the whole year, wherein, literally at times we'll have 2 celebrations in a week also. So you have to give the child, what exactly we are living in, what are we living around. So if we talk about, as I gave the example of the month of August. So we start with, say 15th August, the Independence Day, then we will have Janmashtami also, then we'll have Ganesh Puja also, and I think we also have Raksha Bandhan also in between at times in August. So it becomes a long list wherein the child is celebrating and child is loving those things, getting to know all the stories behind whatever are there. So the teachers are trained well to tell them those stories in a way that will stay with them for life. They will not forget those stories. So it is very activities, I feel, are the most important. At least one activity or one art and craft needs to be done with the child, especially when it is in playgroup and nursery, so that the class is very interesting for them and they are looking forward to attend the class. And so, oh no, ma'am, I want to play outside. No, nothing like that. Oh, ma'am has got a tray wherein the Fevicol is there. That makes the whole class so excited that they'll not wait for ma'am to keep down there. What are we making? What are we making? So that's the enthusiasm we want from the children also.
So true. I wish, such activities probably was there at my time as well when we were. Yeah. So other thing that, of course, we are living in a age where digital, there is a lot of digital exposure to kids. Every small thing, they just either open the laptop or the phones are given to them. So in such an era, how can curiosity be nurtured in the children? How can we make them curious learners?
We follow the methodology that we follow here is called IGNITE, which stands for inquisitiveness. Okay, so kids at this age, when they're coming to school, whatever they're seeing is new for them. Okay, so when we were small, specifically, when we had to ask anything from our teacher, we used to think twice. Okay, should I put my hand up? Should I say something? Or will ma'am scold me? Or the other kids will laugh? We don't do that here at all, because we know that, because we ourselves have gone through it. What we need to tell our children today is ask as many questions as you want. Whatever you see, ask questions. And how do we inculcate that? The teachers ask the same questions to the kids as well. So whatever they are seeing, whenever they see, the teachers need to be so observant. When they are seeing the child is looking at something, they need to ask before the child asks them, did you notice that? Do you want to know about it? Once you do that, the child automatically, that ice breaks. And he automatically wants to talk. Yes, ma'am, tell me what it is all about. We have a small child who was just 1.8. Okay, so usually she would come to me and she would we have books which are in reach of the children, the picture books are there. And she will always come to me and she'll like, ma'am, what is this? What is this? What is this? And if I am not answering her patiently, she'll keep on asking me those questions. Why did she inculcate that habit was when she was getting adjusted to the school, we used to do the same thing with her. Say, okay, tell me what is this? Tell me what is this? So that is how we build on the curiosity of the child and observations. That is the most important thing. If the child is observing what is around you, once you enter Rosemount International Preschool, Kundallahalli Center, you will see it is a very colorful center, everything handmade. Why do we do that? So that the child, when he sees, he's attracted to the colors, he wants to explore each and everything. All the role play toys are displayed very nicely, wherein, if the parents are talking to us, they can easily go, everything is in their reach. When the children have a reach to everything around them, they will explore more, they will learn more. Yes. How do we play with that? How do we do that? So that is something that we and never say no to a child. So that is something that we practice. Like as mothers, I think it happens to us when initially we are very worried the child is not speaking. Then what happens? The child starts to speak, and then what do we do? Please keep quiet for some time. That I think all of us as mothers have done it. Okay, leave me alone for some time. I just want to focus on something. So, but here in school as teachers, my teachers are not allowed to do that. And if by mistake also they do it, they know that something is going to not, we've done some mistake today. So that is something that I personally practice a lot, that you are not supposed to say no to a child. If the child is having some questions, if he's having some curiosity, please answer those questions, because you are here to answer those questions. So whether it is relevant, not relevant, that's beside the point. But you tell them in a very positive way. Don't use the negative words, or try to make yourself the center, so that the child revolves around you only and takes more information out of you.
So that is, I think, such a relevant point that you have made. And like you said, I think as mothers, at some point, I think at most points in our lives, we've said that to the children, that don't do this, no, no, no. And I think that's how we kill the curiosity in the children. Exactly. Now, let me ask you, what are the timings of your school?
The timings for playgroup and nursery would be 9:30 to 12:30. Okay. And for LKG and UKG, it's 9:30 to 1 o'clock.
Okay. Do you also provide a daycare facility?
Yes, we do have the daycare. Daycare is still 6:30 we provide.
Okay.
9:30 to 6:30 we'll have the daycare.
Okay. Any plans to go up to grade 1 or 2 somewhere in future?
Definitely, we're waiting. The NAP came as a blessing to us, and hopefully within the next 1 or 2 years, we should be able to start with class 1 and 2 as well. So we have a capacity of over 150 kids in our school. So definitely, I think we can start with the class 1 and 2 as well.
Great. And what is the teacher-student ratio that you follow at school?
We follow a strict ratio of 10:1. So every 10 students would be 1 teacher plus 1 support staff would be there.
Okay. That's a great, I think, ratio, because that way all the children are given proper attention to. And now coming to the workforce, as we call them, our teachers, the pillars of any school. And now, suppose somebody would love to join your team after hearing such exciting things. What is the recruitment process that you follow at your school?
Basically, we provide training first. Firstly, we want the applicants who are coming to us to have a little bit of experience. If they don't have an experience, then they should be at least an entity trained. After which, once we take them in, if they are, we have a round of interview. If we take them in, then they are trained by Rosemount Academy of Creative Training. So, which is again certified course which they will have, which only is completed once after 1 year only. So which is again a 1 year training process that they will have. and which is a good for them as well, and which is a good for us as well, because we're getting trained teachers not only in terms of academic but also in terms of life skills.
Yeah.
You know, how are you to train, how are you to talk to a child, how, especially when usually my preference was always, when I started the school, I always wanted mothers to come and take care of, as teachers, to take care of my kids in the school. But we've also taken freshers, and we've also taken this thing, but we've trained them. But what the difference we used to see, the mothers knew how to tackle certain issues, which the new parent, new, probably somebody who's just got married and just come to Bangalore and, wants to get back to work. So there was a difference. So that when we have the training sessions of the life skills as well, so you come to know how the child brain is working, how exactly the child's brain would function in a particular situation. So those things we train the teachers so that they are not caught, in this thing that they don't know what to do. So they will always, first we'll train them, and then only they would be going to take the classes with the children.
Okay. And that's like a rigorous 1 year's training. But apart from the training that you have for the teachers for a year, is there some kind of an ongoing or a refresher training that regularly happens with teachers?
So every 6 months, the training is there. The refreshing is there. Apart from that, we also have a 2-monthly training program wherein we, the teachers as a rule, will write about each and every child's performance on a weekly basis. Okay. So with that, we also understand how the teacher is observing the child. Is there any thing which she's doing wrong or right? So we can work on those particular skills in the 2 months training, wherein the academic heads from Rosemount will come and train the teachers if they are facing any problems like that. That would happen.
Okay.
And I would like to say, and I'm very proud of it, like it's been 10 years of me in business, and I have my 2 teachers who have been with me since the past. One has been with me for the past 10 years, and one has been with me for the past 9 years.
Wow.
So these 2 are actually my right hand and left hand when I'm, working at my school. So this plays a very important role when you have experienced teachers. They know how to handle when the child is very cranky. They know how the child will behave. What would be the next step? They are able to help the other new teachers also who are coming into the system, and it makes things very cohesive that way. They are all together, they're working, they know yes, they don't have to come to me. They have one step there wherein they can fine tune everything and make things right at their level as well.
No, and it speaks a lot of your leadership as well. If the teachers have been there for this long, then I'm sure that the work environment would be very conducive for them to, teach. So that's amazing. Another question that, or I would say a concern that stays on in the minds of parents, especially because of the number of incidents that have occurred over the past few years, is to do with safety of the kids. Of course, all the schools do have some safety protocols in place. So at Rosemount, what are the safety steps that you have taken to ensure that each and every child is safe within the confines of the school?
So first of all the toys that we have are non-toxic toys. There are no sharp edges around the school at all. Everything is, we made sure there is no sharp thing that is even the scissors. If we are working on the scissors, it is never in front of the children when they are. So whatever cutting that needs to be done, it is done beforehand and then only taken to the class. Then we also have, cabs with CCTV. We have our own school van, which is there, which is again has CCTV inbuilt in them. The whole school is under CCTV surveillance as well. So at all the time, the teachers and the support staff, everybody knows that I am just a click away, and I see the whole. If I'm in the school, I'm not in the school. I'm always vigilant on the CCTV. I have an access to everything.
Okay.
Yeah. Then we have RFIDs for the children as well when they're coming in and going out of the school. And we follow a very strict rule wherein the child, when they're using the cab, if the cab does not have a support staff in that, a female support staff, we will not send the cab anywhere.
Okay.
So that is something that we follow very stringently when the children are going. So ours is a 2-level school. So when the children are going up the class for the classes, always there are 2 people, 3 adults in fact, standing at the stairs. One would be on the first stair downstairs, one in the middle and one on the top, so to make sure that they're holding the railing and they're walking safely up and down the school. So they're not, the children are strictly not allowed to come up, do the running up and down the staircase, which the children love doing it. So they're not allowed, and we have all the safety gates and everything in place wherein the children cannot unlock it and do that fun thing of running up and down the school.
Okay, I'm sure the parents would be really assured hearing about, and the ones who are already there would be really relaxed knowing that all the safety measures are being taken up by school. Now, coming to the major events, of course, you've spoken about the activities that you have, that how the curriculum is so activity-based, but if you can throw a little bit of light on the annual events that happen at Rosemount that the children or parents are invited for.
So we have, we just finished last month with our annual sports day, which was a huge hit. And actually, it was my first time when I involved the parents for the sports day.
Oh.
So it was a very good experience for me also. And it was so fulfilling wherein all the parents came and, they were so happy about the children performing so nicely. And the parents participated in the parents' race and all.
Oh.
So it was really good, very nice it was. And the feedback that we got was also awesome. We also conduct the annual days. So annual days again, we would have on this year we didn't have the annual day because we were not sure in the beginning because we came out just of the pandemic.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
were not sure whether we will be able to do it. So we didn't plan for that for the annual day. But every year we have it in December. And again, the parents come and they enjoy the performance by the children, by the teachers, and the parents themselves will form a group wherein they will perform for the kids at the end of the annual day. So which again is fun for the parents as well. We have a very nice celebration for Dandiya for mothers.
Okay.
So they will come to school and, we'll have a Dandiya Ras whole, about an hour or 2 hours function that we have in school, which the parents are the mothers especially are very excited. We are also very excited to have that. Plus we'll have Father's Day celebration and Mother's Day celebration would be there. And we recently concluded our Grandparents' Day also, wherein grandparents were so happy to come to school and to share their feedbacks, basically, that, even they are being recognized. So parents, mothers will come, fathers will come, and generally grandparents, they don't get a chance to celebrate it with their grandchildren. And they are the ones who are the closest at this age with the children.
Yes.
So they really enjoyed it. And we end the session with the graduation day. So wherein again, the UKG parents will be inviting them for the graduation day and, facilitating all the other kids for that as well.
Okay. So this kind of links my next question and almost coming to the end of our session, but how much of parent participation do you expect as a school, even in terms of any kind of work that is given to the children for homework or as activity? So what is the kind of participation that you look for from parents?
We do want the parents to be actively participating in the child's early studies. The child is here with us only for 3 hours. Okay, the major time spent is at home. We need to get certain kind of discipline, probably not for a play group or a nursery child, but definitely for an LKG child who's already 4 years and 5 years, they need to get into a routine. So we don't want them to sit for hours and study, but at least for 10 to 15 minutes every day, if the parent sits with the child, gets him to do the homework, it's the time for the parents to bond with the child, as well as to get the things done easily. So they know, okay, this is, if 4 o'clock is my time to study, so they automatically will get their books and pencils, and mama, I need to do my homework, and I will finish my homework and then go to play. So that is how the parents should be involved in that. We also have project works once a year, so wherein we would want the parents to get involved in just sending the things, not as in doing the things or making the project in school, because the project needs to be done in the school. So whatever we are asking or requesting the parents to send with the child, so they say, and the parents are more than happy to send it, because they also understand when the child is making those collages or making those projects or making anything in school, the sense of achievement is very high in a child. So when that sense of achievement comes, the parents are also happy. Yes, okay, yes. And especially when we have oral presentations and all the oral competition would be there, or fancy dress photo. Fancy dresses wherein I want the parents to participate, and that's a chance given to them to show their creativity.
Yes.
So fancy dress is one thing that we really, literally force the parents who even don't want to do that. No, you have to do it. Do something.
Yeah.
And they do it, and they do such an amazing job. We'll also, at times, we have not thought of those ideas, and those ideas the parents have come up with. So even we get inspired with the parents' creativity at times.
Wow. I'm sure it must be so much fun. Yes, absolutely. So yes, to Ms. Akansha, right at the beginning, you told me that it was mostly your son, I think, that inspired you to be an educator. But what was that Eureka moment when you thought of getting into the field of education?
It was basically when it came to me, I'll say 2 years after I opened the school. And this child was in UKG, and when the mother came to me and told how he spoke in class 1, the child had gone to class 1 now, and the way he orated some story in the school, and the teacher called him personally and said good things about the child, and then she came to me and to tell those things. It was like, okay, I have done something good. When the parent is coming back to you and seeing something like that, it feels very important, and it feels very good that, yes, we are doing something right, and we are on the right track, basically. So that is one moment that I can never forget, when, this kid's mother came to me and said, ma'am, whatever he is today, the way he's speaking in English, or the way he's orating a story, is just because of you. So that was like, thank you so much. Like, yes, thank you for letting me know that, actually we have been really good to your child. So when the good feedback comes from the parents, it's like a blessing to us.
Yes, I understand totally. So, wow, that was great. I don't know how the time just flew by. Miss Akansha, it was so wonderful talking to you. I pray that not just your center, all your centers at Rosemount touch the pinnacles of success. And we hope to have your school with us back soon. And you as a...
Hopefully we have many more, and definitely we are planning on expansion. The Rosemount itself now has 50 plus centers around the world now, so which is a big number, and coming from the pandemic, which was really difficult for all of us here. I think we are starting to have our footings now. And hopefully we'll be, meeting very soon again.
Yes, 100%. And with the lovely curriculum, the activities, and the vision that you all carry, I'm sure that that day is not far, where you guys are going to go higher and higher up. It was really a pleasure speaking to you, and we wish you all the very best. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.